Good evening, everyone. I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly, as well as there is no issues with the audio or the video, please do let me know. Hello, everyone. I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly, as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please do let me know. Hello, guys. Hello, good evening. Good evening. Guys, please let me know if you are able to listen to me properly and there is no problem with the audio or the video. Please do let me know that. If there is any problem with the audio or the video, please do let me know, guys. It's audible. You guys have no issues. Uh, is my voice echoing? Okay. Let me just check if that's an issue or not. Give me a second, guys. Okay. Give me a second. I will just check whether there is an issue with my voice or not. Okay, so that is not actually an echo. My voice is like that. Okay, so there is no issues with the audio or the video as I'm able to see. So we'll start with that itself. Okay. Okay, so in today's class, we'll try to complete as much as possible related to JavaScript. Okay. Okay, so some people are saying my voice is not audible. See, guys, this is a YouTube video. If you have any problem with the audio, you can just increase the voice of the video or just wear a headphone. Okay, I'm able to see from my mobile phone that everything is proper and there is no issues with the audio or the video. Okay, I will not be able to repeat a lot of different stuff. Okay, because there's a lot many number of you and it will be very difficult for me to repeat stuff every single time. So please try to listen to me properly. If somebody has any questions, put it up on the live chat. If you guys know the answer to that particular question, okay, then try to like answer them as well. Okay, because it won't be like possible for me to answer every single question. I will try my best so that I'm able to cater to as many of you as possible. But try to make sure that if somebody is asking some questions that is repeated and you know the answer for those questions, try to answer them as fast as possible. Okay. Okay. No issues in that. So let's start off with today's class. Okay. So let me first introduce myself. My name is Shaurya Sinha, and I have been an educator right over here at DevTown. Before it, I was like an educator at Shape AI as well. I've taught over 3.5 million students as of this particular moment. I have previously worked as a software engineer, a data analyst, a full stack engineer at companies like Reliance, Jio, and others as well. I have done major hiring drives for many companies. I've hired over 3,000 students as of this particular moment and placed over 5,000 students up till now. So that was a quick introduction about myself. Okay. I started my journey as an engineer from like Reliance as a data analyst. Then I shifted to Geo as a software engineer, then as a full stack engineer in some other companies as well. And so that was just a quick introduction about me. Okay, in this 7 days of boot camp, we are going to study a lot many number of things. Okay, you have to be very quick witted about everything. Now the prerequisite, that is what do you need to understand, what do you need to know before starting this particular boot camp, is just English. Okay, the prerequisite for the entire boot camp is just English, and whatever I'm able to say, to be able to hear it properly and to be able to like understand it in one go, because we won't be able to repeat again and again for 5,000 students. Okay, so that is the first thing. Okay, you have to understand English, because the mode of communication would be in English itself. The rest of the stuff, that is from JavaScript to coding to programming to whether it be MongoDB, Node.js, Express, everything I will be teaching from scratch. You don't need to know anything from the start. Okay, I will be teaching everything from the very basics. You don't need to know everything from the start itself. The second thing is, at the end of the bootcamp itself, we will also be going through a small project in which we'll be creating our very own API using application programming interface. So I will be explaining you what APIs are as well. You don't have to worry about it. Okay. So we'll be creating our very own API. Depending upon how much time that we have, it could be a huge API, it could be a smaller API as well. And that you can put it up as a project on your resume. You don't have to worry about it. Everything that I will be teaching you, even the project, I'll be doing it live right over here so that you don't have to worry about it. Once the class is over, the recordings for these classes will be on YouTube itself. As you are, I think so you have used YouTube for a very long period of time. You are very familiar with how YouTube Live actually works. So you will get the recordings for the classes as well with lifetime access. You don't have to worry about it. But okay, coming back to the certificates and the attendance. So every single day in different ways, every single day the how I will be taking the attendance will be totally different. Totally different. It won't be that every day I'm providing you with a Google form or every day I'm providing you with a QR code. Every day I will be having a very different format for taking up the attendance. Okay. And every single day over the span of 7 days, I'll be taking your attendance. Once that attendance has been taken up, those students who will be having 7 days of attendance, okay, 7 complete days, that is 100% attendance, will be getting the certificates via DevTown that they have participated and completed the 7-day backend web development bootcamp using JavaScript, MongoDB, and Node.js. Okay, so that will be the certificate given to the students who will be having 100% attendance. Now, like I've already said to you guys as well, at the end of the bootcamp, okay, at the end of the bootcamp itself, we will be having a project that will be doing live in the class. So the same project, I will be asking you to do it on yourself and then submit to us. Okay, we'll give you like 5 to 6 days to do the project yourself and submit it back to us. We'll be then checking through the projects itself. We'll be providing the list of the students who have completed the project properly to Google and Microsoft. Once those names have been provided to them, these companies will then be referencing those names. So those students who will become having 100% attendance as well as the correct project submitted will be getting the certificates via Google and Microsoft after 1.5 weeks of the bootcamp has been ended. Okay, because we have to check through all the different projects that you have submitted to check whether you have submitted the correct project or not. Okay, are you guys able to understand? Please let me know. How the attendance will be taken will be different every single day. So every day I will be explaining you somewhere in the middle of the video itself how to give your attendance, and you will have 1 hour after. So if the bootcamp is from 7 to 8, you will have from 7 to 9 to fill up the attendance. That's it. That's it. After that, your attendance won't be taken up. Like I said, you have to attend this session live, and every single day in the video itself live, I'll be letting you guys know how to fill up the attendance. Okay, now again I am just revising it a bit. 100% attendance for getting the certificate via DevTown, 100% attendance as well as the correct project submitted, that will lead you to the certificate via Microsoft as well as Google. Okay, again, this entire bootcamp is for free. There is no cost associated with the bootcamp or the certificates. So don't pay anything. If somebody is asking you to pay something for these 7 days free bootcamps, it's absolutely free. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, how to give the attendance for today, I'll be letting you know at the end of today's class, but that won't be true for the rest of the days. For the rest of the days, I will be letting you know how to fill up the attendance anywhere in the middle of the class as well. Just for today, I'll be letting you know how to fill up the attendance at the end of today's class. Okay. So the project will be on the last day of the bootcamp itself. So you have 6 days right now. So focus upon what I'm teaching. Okay, focus upon what we are doing right now. When we'll be reaching the project, at that point of time, we'll be discussing how to build the project, how to submit the project and everything else. Right now, you don't have to worry about that. Okay. If you have 100% attendance but you haven't submitted the project, then you will only get the certificate via DevTown. Okay. Everything that you need to know for the project, I will be teaching you guys in the class. I'll be doing the project live in front of you and explaining you the entire project, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so are you guys ready? Should we start off with our today's class? Please let me know. Again, now every question that you are asking should be irrelevant. I've given you all the information that you need. Any information that you are asking right now will be told to you when the time comes. Right now, this much information is more than sufficient for you guys. Okay, great. So let's get started right away. And again, just recapping, today we are going to start off with JavaScript. Okay, understanding a bit about the web itself, and we'll be starting off with some coding as well in JavaScript. So that will be our aim for today. Okay, let's start right over there. Pardon me for my voice, it's actually very dry. That's the reason why. Okay, so let's get started. Now, browsers. So let me just open up the live chat on my mobile phone so that I'm able to listen to you as well when you are talking. Okay, so let's keep it a very interactive session as much as possible. Okay, I'll be asking you some stuff, and I expect from you that you will be responding to me back again with the same kind of enthusiasm as well. Okay. Again, my throat is not well, but I'm giving my 100% to you guys, so I expect that you guys will be able to understand it as well. Just like I said, I'm not feeling well, but I'm trying my 100% best so that you guys are able to like not feel as if I'm low or something. So I'm keeping my energy high as well. Okay, so just keep the audio on a headset or something like that. Everything would be clear to you. I'm trying my best so that I'm as clear as possible in my words. Okay, thank you so much, guys. So let's get started. First of all, let me know how many of you, so give me some examples of browsers that you have used up till now. How many of you have used browsers up till now? And if you have used browsers, could you let me know some examples of the browsers that you have used up till this particular point of time? Guys, what are the different browsers that you have used up till this particular point of time? Please let me know. Guys, what are the different type of browsers that you have seen up till now? Please let me know, guys. Is my voice not audible to you guys? Please let me know. How many of you have used browsers up till now? Okay, great. So I'm able to see some of the examples right over here. So Chrome, Opera Mini, okay, Opera, Brave, that's great. Firefox, okay, Edge. Okay, that's amazing. That's amazing. So now all these different browsers that you're naming to me right now have come up in the recent years itself, like 2008, 2007. These browsers are very recent. Brave is like 2016. So that's a very recent browsers. But internet existed before that as well. Internet has existed from 1950s. So what happened at that point of time? Were there any web browsers? What were people using at that point of time? So one of the most used web browsers at that point of time, that is, I'm talking about 1990s. Okay, I'm talking about almost 30 years before today. So at that point of time, there was no Chrome, there was no Opera Mini, there was no Firefox. The only browser that existed were Netscape browser, and later on, after a few years, came up with the Internet Explorer that has now been changed to your Edge, Microsoft Edge browser. Okay, so one of the most original browsers that you are able to see, this is the Netscape browser that existed at that point of time. As you're able to see, the browser itself isn't a lot different. Like, this is a 30-year-old browser. As you're able to see, the features of this browser is not different from what exists as of this particular moment. There's a previous page button, there's a next page button, there's a home button, there's a reload button, there's a find button, there's a print button. So all these buttons are almost the same. The location bar, as you're able to see, where you put your URL or where you write www.google.com, where do you want to go, that is also present. Your web page, where you are able to see what your web page itself is also present. So along the time of 30 years, the browser itself hasn't changed a lot, as you are able to see. Okay, now this Netscape browser was originally called as Mosaic browser, that was created by Mark Anderson. Okay, so he's like a god level person right now. So let me just show you Mark Anderson. Okay, it's Mark Anderson. I think so. Yeah. So Mark Anderson is a particular person who created your Mosaic browser. Next, he created the Netscape Navigator, which closed its doors in 2008. But right now, he's the biggest investor in Silicon Valley. Like, he has invested in companies like Google, Slack, Facebook, every single Apple, every single big company that you know of. He's one of the leading investors in those companies. And so at that point of time, when Netscape was famous, when Netscape was predominant in the entire industry, what happened was, like, let me just show it to you guys. So for example, you want some animation. Okay, you want some animation of a particular website. So let's say that this is your website right over here. Please let me know if you are able to see everything on the screen properly. Okay, so this is your website right over here on this particular monitor. Okay, you want to create an animation right over here of a particular person who is running. I'm so sorry for my drawing, I'm not that good in drawing itself. Okay, you want to create person running right over here in your screen, in your website. So what used to happen was, you would have to send, so for example, this person running, you want to send everything to a server. Okay, this is a server, this is the backend of the entire application that exists on like Google's headquarters, or maybe Amazon's AWS headquarters, or Azure's headquarters. You'll send this information to the servers will then compile the images together. So what is a video, what is an animation at the end of the day? It's nothing else but videos or images aligned to each other, one after one, that move along with the time frame. So that processing was done on the servers itself, and then the result of the person running was sent back to your monitor, where you will be able to see the person running on your screen. Okay, so basically the programming language that was used, lived on the servers itself. Okay, at that point of time, you use Java. Okay, at that point of time, you use Java. Okay, so this was a very tedious task. It utilized a lot of resources from the servers ends. Okay, it took a lot of time. Okay, just a normal animation that you wanted to create on your front end, it took a lot of time to create that. Okay, so Mark Anderson was like, this won't do. Okay, I won't allow this to happen. I want a language, I want a scripting language that's fast and lightweight enough, so that I don't have to send everything to my servers. Okay, whatever animation that I want to create, I want my programming language to live on the browser itself. Okay, the browser that we have seen up till this point of time, okay, you have to keep it on the browser itself, and the animation should be running on the browser directly. You don't have to send anything to the servers. You don't have to have a programming language put up on Java inside your servers itself. Nothing like that. Everything would work directly on your PC, that is on the client side itself. Now, okay, so Mark Anderson proposed this particular solution, but we needed a solution. We needed someone to make that solution itself. So Mark Anderson then contacted Brendan Eich. Okay, Mark Anderson contacted this fellow, Brendan Eich, who created the programming language that you know right now as JavaScript. Okay, that you know right now as JavaScript. And guess how many days? Okay, I'm not even talking about years. How many days did Brendan Eich took, okay, to create the programming language that we know right now as JavaScript? He took only 10 days. He took 10 days to create the most used production language in the entire world as of this particular moment. Your entire web, the entire web, any website, 80% of any website is currently run only in one language, that is JavaScript. 80% of the entire world's internet is run only in JavaScript, and this guy took 10 days to create that language. So hats off to him. Like, we are actually studying this language because of what he did in 10 days. Okay, so we'll come back to JavaScript in a few minutes again. Okay, so components of a website, the website that you're currently using, it has majorly 3 components that you need to know at any point of time. The first one is HTML. That is hypertext markup language. Okay, HTML or hypertext markup language. The second one is CSS, cascading style sheets. The third one is JavaScript. Now, we are not going to study about HTML and CSS because it is not in the scope of this particular bootcamp. We will have a future bootcamp where we'll be learning about HTML, CSS, React.js, Vue.js, and many other as well. But that will be a front-end oriented bootcamp. This is a back-end oriented bootcamp. So we'll be studying a lot about JavaScript. We'll be studying a lot about Node.js, Express, MongoDB, and a project on basis of that as well. Okay, so these are the 3 core components that you use to create any website. Okay, now what is the use of HTML? Let's try to understand that. Okay, one more thing, it takes 7 days to learn JavaScript. Now, whatever I am going to teach you, that will be a basic to an intermediate level. So it will take me almost 2 days to cover JavaScript for you guys. But if you want to learn JavaScript as a language, it takes 7 days of 1.5 hours of classes every single day. In 7 days, you will be able to complete JavaScript. It does not take more than that. Okay, so HTML or hypertext markup language. Okay, that was when the websites were first made. Okay, they were made by scientists and researchers at colleges like UC Berkeley's. Okay, so these are huge like researchers on their fields. They are not interested in how beautiful the website looks. They were interested, they wanted an easier way to search and reference different books and different materials at any point of time. So for example, if you're reading any book as of any particular moment, it has a lot of references in it. So you are having the page where you are able to see the references that are there, and then you will have to, okay, so this reference was taken from this particular article from this particular book. So you will have to go to the library back again. You will have to ask if they have that book or if they have that particular newspaper. Then you will have to search for that particular newspaper, get it, read through it to find the reference. Now, this was an extremely tedious task. For example, I want to search my research with someone from America. I will have to mail my research from India, from Bangalore, to someone who is living in Dallas. So it will take a lot of time, almost a month or 2 months, for my research work to reach to them. Now, that isn't something that we will be able to do at any point of time. They decided to come up with the World Wide Web that we know as of this particular moment as internet. Okay, So this was one of the first pages, that web pages that were ever built. Okay, now as you're able to see from right over here, it does not has any images, it does not has anything, it just has some text, okay, some material, and then some links. Okay, you're very familiar with these links. Okay, each of these links are references to some other website or some other article. So what they did at the end of the day was they took all the information and made it digitally available. Okay, all the written material, all the research was now available to the to the researchers at their fingertips. And for this they just needed HTML. Think about HTML as the skeleton of the website, just like your body has a skeleton. Okay, just like your body has a skeleton and it provides a structure to your body. Okay, guys, your body provides a structure to your body. Okay, so in the similar way, HTML also provides a structure to your website. Okay, that's the only use of HTML at the end of the day. Okay, okay, next, as you're able to see, this is one of the first websites of Microsoft. Microsoft is one of the biggest companies in the entire world when it comes to a tech-based firm. And this is how this is how the website looked like when they were making it in just HTML. Okay, this is Microsoft's original website that they used in HTML. It has been made in HTML. As you're able to see, there is not a lot of images, there's not a lot of decoration, not a lot of like styling. It's just some text, some links, that's it. That's the entire website as you are able to see as of this particular moment. Okay, so now things needed to change, okay, as the competitors were increasing in the market. Okay, and you needed to understand like how to style a website, how to make it attractive. Okay, so for example, if you are having two dishes in front of you, okay, two cakes in front of you, both of the cakes are, let's say, truffle cakes itself. One looks amazing and the other one looks very shabby. Which one would you choose? Guys, which one would you choose? One who looks very amazing or the other one who looks a bit shabby in nature? Which truffle cake would you choose to eat? Guys, the amazing one. Like if you are like me and you love like sweet things, and you won't care, like it will be like, okay, just give me both of them and I will eat it. Okay, but yes, most of you would choose the amazing one. The same thing happened with these companies as well. They were getting competitors, they needed to improve their websites, make it look amazing, make it look shiny. Okay, so they needed to improve the style of the website. They had the bones, they have a skeleton, they have a body, but now they needed to put up the makeup over that as well. So that is where the CSS came into being. Just look at this. This was the Microsoft's website, okay, as you are able to see. And this is the Yahoo website that was created using HTML and CSS. As you're able to see, there is a lot more style, there's a lot more images. Okay, links are still there, but it has been organized in a very beautiful manner. The entire website is something that I might consider to use at the end of the day. Okay, so that is where CSS came into being. CSS or cascading style sheets provided the styling to the website, the makeup, the hair, the eyebrows, the eyelashes, the color, the skin, the clothes that you wear, the boots, the watches. So everything that provided a style to your website, that is where this CSS came into being. Okay, great. Now the next one was your JavaScript. Okay, so I don't think so this is working right over here, but this is actually an animation, so I don't think so that carried away into the PPT as well. So your HTML provided a structure to your website. Okay, it provided you some skeleton bones to your website. The CSS provided a presentation or an appearance to your website itself, or cascading style sheets. Okay, JavaScript provides dynamism or action to your website. Your website is able to interact with the user. You're able to, so for example, if your user clicks on a particular button, something will happen. If a user scrolls over a particular website, an animation will happen. So all these different things, the interaction between the user and the website was provided by JavaScript. So basically this was a small video of Deadpool actually dancing. Okay, so you are able to understand that dynamism that the website is able to provide, that is due to JavaScript. Okay, are you guys able to understand up till here? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand up till here? Please let me know. I've enabled the slow mode because most of you were spamming the entire live chat, and I wanted to be able to see through some of the live chat, so that if there is some question that is there, then I'm able to answer them properly as well. That is the reason why I've disabled the live chat. Sorry, I've enabled the slow mode. Okay. Okay, so now the second thing I think so I should, okay, yeah. So now back in 1950s, like we have already discussed, anything that you wanted to do at the end of the day, you would have to, for example, you want to have an animation on your website. Okay, you will have to send the entire data, the entire images to the servers, where it will be compiled, where the language basically lived, and the results will then be sent back to the website. It was a very like huge pain for anyone. Okay, it took a lot of time, and that isn't something that we wanted at the end of the day. The problems were in retrieving the data, so it took a lot of time. If you want to search something on the page, then so for example, you want to search for maybe, let's say, food on my page, so you will have to send that particular thing to the server. In the server, they will perform the search, they will find the results, then they will be sending it back to you. So this wasn't possible. For example, if you wanted to convert the units, let's say that you wanted to convert rupees to dollars or dollars to rupees, again, that wasn't possible on the website itself. You would have to send that information to the server. There the computation will happen, there the conversion will happen, and then it will be sent back to you. Okay, so that was the major problem that was faced. Okay, what is the difference between a static and a dynamic website? So a static website is somewhere where it's just the website itself. You're not able to do anything with the website. It's like an image. Okay, it's just like an image. You're not able to do anything. It's just like this PPT. There is nothing. I cannot feed in any data. I cannot get something back from the website. Anything. I cannot do anything with this data, with this website. A dynamic website is, for example, let's say your ticket booking website, or your let's say your payment website or something like that, where you can fill in some details. A Google form as well. A Google form is also a dynamic website where you are able to interact with the website itself. Okay. Okay, so Brendan Ike, like I said again, created JavaScript in 10 days. Now when he created JavaScript, let's see what happens if there is no JavaScript present. Okay, let's go back to our Chrome browser. Okay, let's go to okay, so let's go to settings. I can disable JavaScript from right over here as well. Web developer, disable JavaScript. Okay, so let's go to YouTube right now. Okay, let's not go to YouTube. Let's go to something. Okay, I shouldn't be disabling JavaScript from right over here. It will impact the streaming itself. Okay, so let's take up another. Okay, so let's go to my particular this. Okay, and then there I will be disabling. So I need another down browser out. Close this. Okay, so from right over here in web developer, I have a plugin right over here. I'm disabling JavaScript. Okay, as of this particular moment. Okay, now if I'm trying to open YouTube, let's say I'm trying to open YouTube itself. Okay, so this is how Google looks like without JavaScript. Okay, This is how Google looks like without JavaScript. So you're able to know, although things are loading up, but it does not look nice. As you're able to see, this does not look nice. Right? Everything looks very shabby at the end of the day. Okay, what about YouTube? What happens if I try to open up YouTube? YouTube won't even load up. Okay, without, so I've disabled JavaScript. There's no JavaScript in the browser itself. Okay, YouTube won't even load up without JavaScript. What happens if I try to go to, let's say, Insta? So Instagram as well won't even load up without JavaScript. Okay, Instagram won't even load up without JavaScript. Let's take up Netflix. Okay, let's go to Netflix. Again, even Netflix. So for example, let me just sign in right over here. I don't. Okay. Looks like you have disabled JavaScript. Please enable JavaScript to restore full page functionality. So without JavaScript, this Netflix is also not going to work. Okay. What about something else? What about any other website? Any other websites that you want to suggest, guys? Please let me know. Any other websites that you guys want to suggest, please let me know. Wikipedia. So let's go to Wikipedia. Let's go to some particular page itself. So this is how Wikipedia looks like. So it hasn't changed a lot. It looks the exact same even without JavaScript as well, because it is highly dependent upon it's not very interactive with you. So it's highly dependent upon HTML and CSS. That is the reason why I think so it's not that like changed a lot. Let's say about New York Times. Let's go to New York Times. As you're able to see in the New York Times itself, the advertisements that were there won't even load up. Without JavaScript, the advertisements that were there won't even load up right over here. You're able to see only the text and the images are being loaded up. The advertisements are not getting loaded up. So that is the reason, because there is there's no JavaScript enabled. Okay, let's check about Amazon. So this is how Amazon looks like. The edges and everything has become much more. So in whenever you used to hover over any of the articles, you were able to see that it will become bigger and you will get a model and you will be able to see some extra details as well. So that isn't working without JavaScript. Okay. So let's go to a particular image. So I'm not able to zoom in to a particular object. Okay. Just like we used to do that early on. The rest of the stuff, the more items isn't loading up without JavaScript. Okay, so these are the different things that you need to understand. Without JavaScript, 90% of your web would not even work. So these are something that you need to understand why JavaScript is so important nowadays. Okay, are you guys able to understand up till here? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand up till here? Please let me know, guys. Okay, great. So let's move on to the next particular thing. Okay, so the next thing that we want to work out on is the names for JavaScript. So originally JavaScript was not called as JavaScript. The original name that the Eric, so the original name that Eric basically suggested for the language that he had created was LiveScript. Okay, that was the original name of JavaScript. Now after that, Microsoft thought that okay, this particular language is very powerful and this is something that we should be implementing in our own systems as well. So they tried to reverse engineer the LiveScript itself. From there, Microsoft came into something with which was called as JScript, okay, or JScript, okay. That was a imitation of LiveScript itself. There was a very little difference between them, okay. The only difference was one was made by Eric, and the other one was made by Microsoft. That was the only difference. Okay, now the third name that came into being was JavaScript. Now many people ask me this particular question, that is Java and JavaScript related to each other or not? Okay, this is a question that many of the people have there in their mind. Is Java and JavaScript related to each other? So the answer to this particular question is no. There is no relation between Java and JavaScript. Okay, the it is the same as thinking that, okay, apple and a pineapple are also the same thing. Okay, the only thing that is similar between them is the word apple and nothing else. Okay, in the same way, Java and JavaScript as well is totally different. Okay, only the word, the spelling Java comes in both the things. Now, why does Java? Why like somebody had named this particular JavaScript? Okay, somebody had changed the name from LiveScript to JavaScript. Why did they do that? Okay, the reason for this is a very marketing tactic. Okay, I've already told you guys that in 1920s, the particular language that was mostly used was Java for anything, whether you wanted to have like any type of programming language on the client side, whether you wanted to have a programming language on the server side, the language that was mostly used was Java. So the LiveScript wasn't taking up any hype at that point of time. Java was a very hyped language. So what the company, Netscape company did was, they changed the name of LiveScript to JavaScript, just as a marketing tactic, so that people might confuse that, okay, somehow Java and JavaScript are related to each other. So let's use both of, like, let's learn JavaScript and let's try to implement that as well. Okay, so that was the hype that was created, and that hype is still continuing as of this particular moment. JavaScript is the first language that is the most used language that you need to learn at any point of time. Okay, right now. So that has proved its worth. Now, as there were many names, LiveScript, JScript, JavaScript, so there were so many names associated with JavaScript itself. So the European Union, that basically does one thing, that is standardize different units together, came into formation, and they created the ECMAScript. Okay, so ECMAScript is nothing else but a secondary name to JavaScript. Okay, you might be hearing about ES6 or ES5 or ES5 action or ES7 as well. So all these are nothing else but different versions of JavaScript. ECMAScript is just a name given by the European Union. So in Europe, mostly people will refer to JavaScript by ES6 or ES7 itself. Okay, so I don't remember the full form for ECMAScript, but it was like European chapter something something or something like that. Like, you can just search for the full form for ECMA. Okay, it was something European something council member something something. I don't remember the exact full form for, but ECMAScript is usually called as ES6 or ES7 or ES5, depending upon which particular version of JavaScript that you are using. Okay. Okay, great. So let's move on with coding. Okay, we have learned a lot of theory today. So now I want to focus a bit upon coding as well. So are you guys ready? Please let me know. European Computer Manufacturers Association script. Like I said, it was something related to European. Okay, great. So are you guys ready with the coding? Please let me know. So we'll start off with learning a bit of coding in JavaScript as well. Amazing, guys, amazing. So what I'm going to do is, those who don't follow along with me, okay, if you want to practice after the class, take some time, whatever we have learned, try to practice that, because if you're doing it along with me, we will not be able to maintain the same pace and you will get left behind, and some of the concepts that I will be teaching you, you will not be able to remember them properly. Okay, so try to make sure that you don't code along with me. This is a YouTube video, it will be available to you after the session has ended as well, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, just try to understand as much as possible. Now this is a normal Chrome browser, as you're able to see, just a normal Chrome browser. Okay, just right click right over here anywhere on the web page. Okay, you just have to right click it right over there. there you will be able to see an inspect option. So back, forward, reload, save as, print, cast, view page source, and then you are having a inspect option. So right click, inspect. Okay, once you're clicking on inspect, you will be able to see a lot of different things that come up right over there at the bottom of the entire website. Now it might come up to any other side as well, okay, but you can just adjust that later on depending upon which side do you want it to be at. Okay. So for example, if you want to keep it on the right hand side, you can just click on these three buttons on the top right corner. Okay, and from there you can choose to which side do you want this panel to appear on. Okay, so three buttons, and then whichever side that you want it to be, you can take it out into its very separate tab as well, like I've done right over here. So that is totally up to you. Okay, I usually keep it at the bottom of the web page itself so that I'm able to see the web page as well as on the bottom as well. Okay, right over there, what we want to see at any point of time, what we are going to use right now is the console. Okay, so you are having a lot of options right over here, elements, then you're having console, you're having sources, network, and many other things as well. What we want to select is console, and this is where we are going to write our JavaScript code. Okay, this is where we are going to write our JavaScript code. Okay, so are you guys with me? Are you guys able to understand up till this very point of time? Please let me know. No, I'm currently using Asus Zen, I don't know, Zen Force or ZenBook 1314. I have no idea which laptop I'm using. Okay, great. So what we are going to do right over here is, we have any programming language that you start at any point of time. So most of you might be Indians, some of you might be from different countries as well. I'm able to understand that. So one of the things that we Indians believe is that anything that we want to start, the auspicious thing to do before that, any new thing that we are going to start, the auspicious thing to do before that is to have a bit of curd and sugar. Okay, similarly for programmers as well, whenever you are going to start off with a new programming language, learning or using a new programming language, the first thing that you want to do in that particular programming language is writing hello world. Okay, printing hello world in that particular language itself. Okay, so what we are going to do right over here is we are going to write hello world in JavaScript using, we're going to write hello world in this browser using JavaScript. Okay, so it would be an amazing thing that we are going to do right over here. Okay, so we are going to start off. So right now I'm just writing the code. Okay, just to start it off with, I'll be explaining the code as well, so don't take tension, just focus upon what I'm doing. Okay, so alert, that is, I want to make sure that my browser is able to say hello world. Okay, and then semicolon. Okay, so alert hello world semicolon. As soon as I'm pressing enter, it will run this particular line of code, and you are able to see on the top of the browser itself, Chrome new tab page says hello world. So we are able to print hello world using JavaScript on our browser. Okay, so let's try to understand what we have done as of this particular moment, what we have written as of this particular moment. The first thing that was there was this alert. Okay, this alert is a particular keyword in JavaScript. It has special meaning in JavaScript itself. Okay, so right over here, this is called as a function. It has a particular function, it has a particular meaning in JavaScript. It is used to do a particular thing in JavaScript itself. What is that thing? It provides a alert, a pop-up, a warning to you. What is written in that warning? The message that needs to be written in that particular pop-up or that particular warning is the message that you put between the parentheses. Right over here, I put in the word hello. There we have put up the word hello world. So whatever message that you want to showcase on the as a pop-up itself, that you need to put up right over here, okay, inside these parentheses. And the end, you need to end this sentence as well. You need to tell JavaScript that this is where the sentence is ending. Okay, just like in the sentence, you're having a dot at the end, that is a full stop at the end. Similarly, for your JavaScript itself, you want to have a semicolon at the end, where you want to basically tell that, okay, this is the line of code that you want to execute. Now in JavaScript, you can ignore the semicolon. You can ignore the semicolon, and the everything would work properly. For example, right over there, I do not have the semicolon in this particular line of code. As you're able to see, there's no semicolon right over here. Alert, hello world, no semicolon. If I'm running this, it will still run. It won't give me an error or something like that. But always remember, it's always a good practice to put up a semicolon at the end of the code itself, because when you will be writing 1,000, 10,000 lines of code, or even like 20,000 lines of code in JavaScript itself, and there if you have not put up the semicolons at the right places, you might end up with some errors that you won't be able to like debug at the right amount of time. Okay, so always remember, always put a semicolon at the end of the line that you want to write. Okay, always remember that, guys. Great. Let's move on to the next particular thing. Okay, so we have learned about alerts right over here. The second thing that I want you to understand is another function that we use in JavaScript itself, called as prompt. Okay, so what if you want to get some information from the user? Okay, right over here, you have shown some information to the user. You created an alert and you showed some information to the user. What about you want to take some information back from the user as well? Okay, so you want to take some input from the user. For that, you have having another function in JavaScript called as prompt. Okay, so prompt, and then what is your name? Okay, so I'm creating a prompt in JavaScript. Okay, this prompt is basically having the question, that is, what is your name? I want to take an input from the user itself, then I'm having a semicolon at the end. Okay, so as I'm running this particular line of code, you're able to see another pop-up that is coming up on my screen, another alert that is coming on my screen. But this alert is a bit different. Although whatever I have specified in the parenthesis, what is your name, I'm able to see it on the pop-up as well. Whatever I have specified inside the parenthesis, I'm able to see it on my pop-up as well. But I also have an input box. Okay, I also have an input box right over there. The input that I want to give is, what is my name? So my name is Shaurya. So I give this particular input to my question, that was to my prompt, and this is coming up right over here in the console. Okay, but I'm not able to use this particular value. Okay, the problem with the prompt is, although I've taken in the input from the user, but right over here, I'm not able to use the input. I'm not able to get, like, I'm able to see Shaurya right over here. Okay, but I'm not able to use it at any point of time. Okay, so what we need to do is, we need to use it. So how we will do that? We need to save it somewhere. We need to, so for example, let's say I've already told you my name is Shaurya and I live in Bangalore. So if I ask this particular question to you guys, so how many of you live in the same city as me? Okay, if I'm asking this particular question to you, I don't have to specify Bangalore again. You already have registered in your brain that Shaurya lives in Bangalore. So if I'm telling you right now that how many of you live in the same city as me, you already have saved it in your brain that Shaurya lives in Bangalore. So how many of you live in the same city as me? So how many of you live in the same city as Bangalore? Okay, so how many of us live in Bangalore at the end of the day? Okay, so that is the main problem right over here. Every day the class will be of 1 to 1.5 hours. Okay, it's only 7 days and we need to learn a lot. For me, the only thing that I'm concerned is with knowledge. Okay, those who are writing attendance, please guys, do ignore them. I'm also ignoring them. If you guys have any questions, do put it up in the live chat. I will try my 100% best so that I'm able to like respond to every single good question. Okay, great. So you are able to understand that because it was saved in your memory. Now I need to save this particular response from prompt inside our computer's memory as well. Okay, we want to save it inside our computer's memories as well. So how we will do that? Okay, for that we have a concept of variables. So let's try to understand why variables are important. Okay, so I'm sharing a very small example with you so that you are able to understand the importance and the usage of variables at the end of the day. Okay, so what we are going to do right now is think about so you are a programmer at the end of the day. Okay, you have a good programming job. Okay, you are a software engineer or maybe a full stack engineer at a good company. So you are actually working there, and your salary right now is, let's assume, 1 lakh rupees a month. Okay, 1 lakh rupees a month, that's the average salary that you should get as a software engineer. Okay, now you decided to shift to Bangalore. Okay, you want to take up a particular house in Bangalore itself, and you want to take it on rent and live right over there. So you contacted a landlady. Okay, you contacted a landlady. Let's say that this is our landlady right over here, and let's put up some face as well, and she has quoted you that the rent for your house will be let's say 15,000 rupees per month. Okay, you're paying 15,000 rupees per month for your rent. Okay, the second thing that you want to do is you want to get a car for yourself. So you have let's say you have taken up a car and you are paying for the car in an EMI. Okay, so the EMI of the car is right now, let's say 15,000 once again. Okay, that's the EMI of the car. You also go to the gym. Okay, so you are a gym freak. You go to the gym and you are paying 5,000 rupees per month for your gym expenses as well. So these are all the expenses and your earnings. So this was your salary that you are having from your job. So you have all this information. Now you are a programmer. You want to create a program that will fill up your taxes for you, that will pay the rent for you, that will pay the EMI for you, that will pay the gym fees for you. Everything that you want to do, it will do it for you. Okay, so you are like, okay, very easy, I'm a programmer, I've got a programming job as well. Let's start off with writing that code. So you wrote almost 10,000 lines of code. Okay, just taking up an example, 10,000 lines of code to do all that. Calculate your taxes, how much salary is coming in, how much are you able to save, okay, how much do you want to invest, paying up the rent, paying up the EMIs, paying up the gym amount. You are able to do that at the end of the day. Okay, so what we want to do right now is want to write that code, and that took 10,000 lines of code. Let's assume that with like 10,000 lines of code at the end of the day. Okay, this is the entire 10,000 lines of code right over here. Now the problem is, okay, so I am able to understand the code will contain in the middle something like, for example, you want to pay taxes, so it will be calculating your taxes as well. So taxes will be, let's say, 10,000, so 1 lakh minus your EMI, because that is an EMI, so that is a deductible charge, 15,000 minus you want to deduct the rent as well, so that is also deductible from your taxes. Okay, so and then you will have to multiply it by 0.3. Okay, so that will be how you will be calculating your taxes. Now what if you want to calculate your savings? So your savings would be, again, you will have your expenses. Okay, that is your salary that you are able to get, your expenses, that is 15,000 for your rent, then 15,000 for your EMI of the car, then you would have your expenses for your gym as well, you will have expenses for your tax. Now you will have to recalculate your tax right over here. So 1 lakh minus 15,000 minus 15,000 multiplied by 0.3, and so on and so forth. So every time you will have to do a lot many calculations like this. Now your landlady, okay, your landlady is a very mean person. Okay, she got to know something about you. She got to know that you are a software engineer in Bangalore. She knows that the average salary for a software engineer in Bangalore is between 1.5 to 2 lakhs, or between 1 to 2 lakhs. So she knows that you have a lot of cash on you. So she says to you one day that, okay, so you did some damages to the property. This won't do. Your parties and everything are very loud. If you want to like keep on living right over here, I'm increasing your rent. I'm increasing your rent from 15,000 to 20,000. Okay, I'm increasing your rent to 20,000. as well as due to inflation, okay, the cost of your gym membership has also gone up to 6,000 rupees. Okay, so these are the two changes that has happened. Now what you will have to go through the entire 10,000 lines of code. You'll have to go through the entire 10,000 lines of code. Every time you will have to find, okay, so for example 5,000 is changed to 6,000. You'll have to find this 5,000 right over here and then update it to 6,000 and so on and so forth every single time. But you don't have enough time. Okay, so some people are very smart. Okay, some people or some of you would be very smart. They'll be like, why we need to go through the entire code? I'll just do control F, control find, and then I will just control R, that is control replace it with 6,000. So I will find 5,000 and I will replace all the 5,000 with 6,000. I'm like, great, that's an excellent idea. But what if your rent was the exact same as your EMI as well? Now you cannot use control F and control R. You cannot find and replace. Why is that the case? Because if you're finding, it will find all the 15,000s that are there. And some of these 15,000s are not your rent. They are your EMI as well. Okay. So you cannot do this. You'll have to go through every single line, try to understand whether this particular 15,000 was for rent or this particular 15,000 was for EMI. And that is a very, very, very lengthy process. This is not something that you want to do. This is where your concept of variables came into being. Okay, so variables, what did variables do? It replaced this entire 10,000 lines of code, and instead of writing these again and again, you wrote the exact same code, exact same 10,000 lines of code like this. For example, calculating your taxes, it would have been salary, okay, minus rent minus EMI multiplied by tax. Okay, and then you are able to save it into another variable called as pay. Okay, again you are having sal minus rent minus EMI minus gym, okay, minus your pay that you calculated in the above particular lines, pay, okay, and that would be your savings that you are able to make. Okay, so all these different things now, and in the starting itself you will declare all these variables, declare all these let's say nicknames itself. Okay, these are like nicknames. Okay, so right over here you have to just declare them. So sal is equals to 1 lakh. Okay, then you are having rent is equals to 15,000. Okay, then you are having your EMI is equals to 15,000. Okay, then you're having your let's say gym is equals to 5,000, and so on and so forth. The rest 10,000 lines of code remain the same. There's no change in that. The only change is wherever you were using numbers, now you will be using their nicknames. Now, for example, your landlady comes up and increases the price to 20,000. Your gym membership has increased the price to 6,000. You don't even have to look through the 10,000 lines of code. Okay, you don't even have to look at the 10,000 lines of code. What you have to look at is these first 5 lines of code itself. You want to change, you want to update the rent to 20,000. Okay, you want to change gym value to 6,000, and this is how you will be able to use it. Okay, you just have to change the first 5 lines of code. You don't even have to look at the 10,000 lines of code itself. Okay, so that is how you are able to understand the entire concept. Okay, so that is what I'm trying to make you guys understand, that variables is nothing else but nicknames for the values that they contain. You can think about variable names as boxes. For those who are not able to understand, see guys, if you are asking about time up or attendance, it's not up to you to decide that. Okay, it's up to me to decide. Like I've said again, every class will be of 1 to 1.5 hours long. Otherwise, I will not be able to complete the boot camp within the 7 days, and you guys will not be able to get the certificates. So please be patient. Try to listen to me properly. Okay, and yeah, for most of you I will suggest the switch off live chat. Otherwise you won't be able to focus upon what I'm teaching right now, and you won't be able to understand anything. Okay, okay, great. So right over here You can think about variables as boxes. Okay, just think about variables as nothing else but box. Okay, you are having a box right over here. The name of this particular box is rent. Okay, the name of this particular box is rent, and it contains the value 15,000 inside of it. Okay, it contains the value 15,000 inside of it. Okay, now if I want to, wherever I'm using the word rent, okay, wherever I'm using the word rent, now that word basically refers to the value that it contains. Okay, this particular word will refer to the value that the box rent contains inside of it. So this is like a nickname. For example, maybe my name is Shaurya and you are nicknaming me as Shore. So in that particular case, anyone who is like calling me by Shore basically understands that the name is actually Shore. It basically works like nicknames themselves. Okay, so if you are using rent, then that refers to the value that it contains inside of it. Okay, now how to create this particular box in JavaScript? In JavaScript, you create this by writing var. Okay, that is the keyword for variables. Okay, it's a keyword, that is, you're declaring, you're creating a variable right now. So you use var, then the name of that particular variable. So let's name our variable as rent. Okay, this is a name that we have given to our box. Var basically creates the box. Rent is the name of that particular box, is equals to the value that we want it to contain. The value that we want to contain right over here is 15,000. And again, as this is a JavaScript code, you want to end the entire thing by a semicolon at the end of the day. This is how you create a variable in JavaScript. Okay, and this is a syntax for the same. Syntax basically means the grammar. Okay, just like in your English language or in your Hindi language, you are having a lot of grammar that you have to learn. Similarly, in coding, this is called as your grammar or your syntax. Okay. Let's learn how to create the variable as well. So what we want to do right now is we want to save, okay, the input that we are able to get from the user inside a variable name. So to do that, what we are going to write is we're going to create a variable name. Can somebody let me know what would be the code for the same? In the live chat, can somebody let me know what will be the code for the same, guys? Okay. Can somebody let me know what will be the code for the same? Just think about it. We want to create a variable called as name, and we want to save the value that we get from prompt inside of it. That's absolutely clear, guys. Okay, so the first person who wrote it correctly was, I'm not able to see his name, Rushi. Okay, the first person who wrote it correctly was Rushi. That's great, Rushi. So what we are going to do is var name is equals to prompt what is your name. Okay, this is the code that we have written right over here. Again, we are able to get a prompt. Okay, we want to write the value that we want it to contain. So Shaurya Sinha. Okay, and then enter. Okay, so you're able to see now that value isn't coming up right over here. We're getting undefined. Why we are getting undefined, we'll be learning about it tomorrow when we'll be learning about functions in JavaScript. Okay, don't worry about it. So that value that we put up right over there, Shaurya Sinha, got saved inside this particular variable called as name. So let's try to use this on our website. Let's create an alert. Okay, let's create an alert and let's name the alert as name. Okay, we want to show the name on our website. Okay, so alert name. Okay, name basically now contains, name is a variable. I'm using name right over here, so it refers to the value that it contains. Okay, so let's run this right over here and you're able to see Shaurya Sinha coming up on our screen. But I'm not able to see it very clearly. Okay, I'm not able to see the alert very clearly. For that, we can use console.log. So every time you want to check something, you don't want to show it to the user. Every time you don't want pop-ups, like your entire website will be filled with pop-ups. You don't want to do that. Okay, so for that, you are having another function in JavaScript called as console.log. The place where you are writing your code as of this particular moment is called as your console. What is log? When you want to write something down, when you want to record something. Okay, so you want to write something down in the console. Okay, so console dot log, and then you want to put up name inside of it. Okay, so console.log name, you want to write something to your console itself. What do you want to write? You want to write the value that is present inside the variable name. Okay, so as you're able to see right over here, you're able to get Shaurya Sinha printed in your console directly. Shaurya Sinha printed in your console directly. Okay, so that's the beauty of console.log. Now the second thing that so difference between alert. So alert basically created a pop-up window for you. Every time when you were like using it, it created a pop-up window for you. Okay, whereas console.log is slowly and steadily printing whatever you want to see directly in the console itself. The console is hidden on the website. It's not always visible to the user, but a pop-up would always be visible to the user, and you don't want that at every single time. Okay. You just have to press enter to run the code. Okay, you don't have to press any key, just enter. Okay, now that we have learned about variables, let's so why we are getting undefined right over there, we'll be discussing about it tomorrow, because you won't be able to understand it right now. You need to understand about functions and return statements to be able to understand why you are getting undefined. So we'll be discussing about it tomorrow itself. Okay, don't worry about it. So naming conventions. So when you are naming a particular variable, there are some conventions, some rules that you need to follow. For example, the first rule that you need to follow is you cannot name a variable as a keyword. Okay, so you cannot have a variable called as var. Okay, you cannot have a variable called as var. Okay, so you cannot have var is equals to 1 2 3. Okay, this won't work. Okay, you cannot have a keyword as a variable itself. Now that is totally understandable, but how do we know which are the keywords in JavaScript? The first thing that you will be able to see right over here, if you're going back, is the keywords that usually come up are usually highlighted. Okay, they are of a different color, so you are easily able to find out what is a particular keyword in JavaScript. The second is with practice. As you're doing more and more coding, you will be able to understand more and more about the keywords such as alert or prompt, and how and when to use that. Okay, the second thing that you need to understand is that although you cannot have a keyword as a variable name, but the variable name can contain a keyword. Okay, what's the difference? You cannot have a variable name as var, but you can have a variable name as myvar or var10. Okay, you can have these variable names are acceptable. Okay, you can have a variable name that contains the word that is basically keyword in JavaScript. Okay, that is allowed, but you cannot have a keyword as your variable name. Okay, the next thing that you need to understand is a variable name cannot contain your special characters like and, hyphen, hash, any special characters, or okay, so it cannot contain these special characters. Okay, it cannot even contain these special characters. Okay, the second thing that you need to know is it can contain A to Z. Okay, small a to Z, capital A to Z. Okay, it can contains numbers. Okay, 0 to 9, and it can contain underscore. Okay, it can contain underscore, but it can never start with a number. Okay, so you cannot have like 007 James Bond. Okay, you cannot have this as your variable name. You can only have James Bond 007. Okay, so try to understand this. Okay, that the variable name can contain small a to Z, the variable name can contain capital A to Z, the variable name can contain numbers, it can contain an underscore as well, but it cannot start off with a number. Okay, it cannot start off with a number. Okay, are you guys able to understand up till here? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand up till here? Please let me know, guys. Any special character you cannot have except underscore. Only underscore can be used. None of the other special characters can be used. Okay. Now JavaScript is also case sensitive. For example, a variable called as SHA, 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 all these will be considered as four different variable names. All these four will be considered as four different variable names because JavaScript is case sensitive. Okay, because JavaScript is case sensitive. Another thing to keep in mind while learning JavaScript is whenever you are naming a particular variable name, you cannot have it as like my, then space, then var. Okay, not like this. Okay, or my space, then name. Okay, you cannot have a space in the middle of a particular variable name. Okay, yes, you can write my underscore name. Okay, that is called as a snake case, or you can even have something like my and then name. The first letter of the next word should be capital. Now this is the right way, to name a variable in JavaScript. Okay, this is the correct way, guys. If you're naming the variable like this, although this might not give you an error, okay, but this is not the right way to write variable names in JavaScript. Okay, this is not the right way to write variable names in JavaScript. The right way to write variable names is my, the first letter should be small, and then every subsequent letter, every subsequent word starting of the word should be capital. Okay, this is called as snake case. Okay, this is called as snake case. Please remember this. This is used in interviews. This will be asked to you in interviews. Many people are not familiar with this, that this is the correct way of naming variables. For example, if you are having my name is, okay, that is the name of the variable. So that will be my name is. Okay, every first letter subsequent to the first word should be capital. Okay. So yes, it is called as camel case. Sorry, the upper one is called, this is called as snake case. Okay, the lower one is called as camel case. Okay, I'm so sorry for that. I got confused between the same. The upper one is called as snake case, that is used in Python. The lower one is called as camel case. Okay, so pardon me for the same. Okay, okay, great. So we will stop right over here with whatever we want to learn up till this particular point of time. Okay. Okay, so are you guys able to understand up till here? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand up till here? Please let me know, guys. We will be learning about const and let in the future as well. Right now it is not required. That is why we are not learning it as of this particular moment. Okay, slowly and slowly there's a lot that we need to learn, so I'm making sure that in bits and pieces you guys are able to understand every single thing. Okay, great. Okay, video right over here. Okay, one more thing, guys. This bootcamp is for free. Okay, we don't charge anything for these boot camps or these certificates as well. The only thing that we ask from you guys is your support for the same. Okay, by support I mean do like the video. Okay, subscribe to the channel. It helps us a lot. Okay, right now we are partnered up with Microsoft and Google to be able to provide you with these free boot camps as well as the free certificates associated with these boot camps from such big companies. Similar to that, we are currently in talks with other companies like you are having Amazon. We are also in talks with companies like GitHub to be able to provide you with more number of certificates, more number of boot camps on various topics. So one of the upcoming topics that we have right now is a data science topic, machine learning related topic that is going to start from the 20th of this month. So these free boot camps that we are having, this entire community that we are trying to develop, the only thing that we ask from you guys is your support and nothing else. I don't think so it's a lot to ask according to me, because we are also trying our very best so that we are able to give our 100% in these boot camps. my throat was not well, but I'm still trying my best to be able to keep the boot camps afloat and you guys also entertained at the same point of time. Okay. So please do show your support, because when you're liking the video or subscribing to the channel or following us on Instagram as well, it sends us indication to these companies that yes, students are interested. This is something that we are providing to the students, and students are gaining something out of this. Now when you guys are gaining something out of these for free, these companies are also very like interested in giving you guys the certificates that you deserve. So that is the reason why that we asked you guys, okay, if it's possible, just give a minute or two, just subscribe to the channel, like the video. It is really very helpful for us, okay, as well as for you as well. At the end of the day, you guys are the ones who are going to get the certificates, not us. For us, it's amazing because we are able to grow the community at a much larger scale than anticipated. Okay. Okay. The second thing is, if you guys want, I will suggest you guys to follow us on our LinkedIn as well as Instagram page. Again, those who don't have a LinkedIn account as of this particular moment, it does not matter if you don't have an Instagram account. Nobody gives two craps about if you have an Instagram account or not. But if you want to go into software engineering or any professional career, I will always suggest you guys to have a good LinkedIn account. Okay, it's extremely important. Don't ignore this. I myself have a LinkedIn account. You can definitely connect with me on my LinkedIn as well. Okay, you can connect with DevTown. So so for example, this is the video that you're currently watching right over here. In the description of the video, I've put up the links to the LinkedIn account, the Instagram account, Telegram, Discord channels everywhere. So you can connect with DevTown on these channels as well. For example, whatever I'm teaching right over here right now to you, every single day you will have some different posts that we'll be posting. For example, right over here, today we have posted pros and cons of JavaScript. Okay, so you will be able to learn a lot about JavaScript. Okay, what are the pros, what are the cons of JavaScript, why is it used in the society, in programming. Then for example, complete backend web development concepts in one post. So what are the concepts involved? So what is Merge stack? Okay, what is MongoDB? Then you're having Express and Node.js. So we post it regularly. We also have one quiz that we have every single day in one of these posts. I will highly appreciate if you guys are able to answer this. Go to Instagram, write it down in the comment section. I've already taught you guys this today itself. That is why I suggested my team to put it down in the post as well. Do interact with these posts. Every single day we post something that is valuable for you to learn for your maybe you want to learn about web development, maybe you want to learn about data science or any other concepts as well. We post it regularly right over here, so do go over there, do follow us. Okay, again, the links is down in the description itself. If you want to connect with me directly, okay, if you don't want to connect with me directly, I don't know why do you want to connect with me. So I've also provided my LinkedIn account as well as my Instagram account as well. You can definitely approach me on my LinkedIn account. You can talk to me as well. I will try my best. I really don't get enough time to respond to everyone, but I will definitely try to do that. And on Instagram as well, you can definitely try to reach out to me, and I will help you guys out as much as possible. Okay, don't write right over here in the live chat. Go to our Instagram account again, put it down in the comment section of the Instagram post. It will be really helpful for us as well. It helps us to grow the community a lot. Okay, so you can definitely connect with us. Second thing is, we have another channel on which we post languages if you want to learn. So for example, right now what we will be learning will be a basic to intermediate level JavaScript. We are going to release a basic to advanced level JavaScript course as well, over a month long course on this particular channel, that is the DevTown 2. Right now we have posted for C++. So the playlist for this particular channel, as you're able to see, there are 35 videos right over here, and it contains the entire C++ from the at most basics, the most advanced topics as well. Lambda functions, smart pointers, templates, file handling, virtual functions, everything that you need to know in C++ for your interviews, we have already provided to you right over here for free. Okay, you don't have to pay anything for these. We try to make sure that everything that you guys need, we're able to provide it to you guys. Okay, we are open to suggestions as well. If you have any suggestions, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to the DevTown account, maybe on LinkedIn, maybe on Instagram. We'll definitely take your suggestions as well, because for us it's extremely important that you guys are able to suggest something to us. Yes, we have the experience. We have mentors who are from Google, Microsoft, Samsung, Geo, many different companies, Goldman Sachs. So we have the experience, we have the knowledge. We want to know what you guys want, and we want to check whether that is something that will help you guys to get placed. So that is our aim at the end of the day. If that aligns with our thought process, then definitely we'll put it up on our YouTube channels. We'll have boot camps and so much more as well. Okay, so next comes the attendance that you guys have been asking for a very long period of time. Now every single day, again guys, I'm able to see one more thing, that almost 5.7 people are 5.7k people are live right over here with us, and almost 1k people haven't liked the video. Did you guys not enjoy the session or something like that? Because I thought that I have done everything properly. If not, please let me know. Okay, so let's open the attendance right now. So forms, I'll have to create the attendance. So it will take up 2 minutes. Okay, let's create a copy of the attendance itself. And let's get the, so those who haven't liked the video up till this point of time, I will really appreciate if you guys are able to like the video. It really helps us a lot, guys. And yeah, thank you so much, guys. Okay, so I will just make the attendance link for today. Every single day, the way that I will be giving you the attendance would be totally different. Okay, so it will never be the same at any point of time. Okay, so this would be the attendance link right over here. These are the mentors that I've already said. This is our team right now. Okay, just a second, guys. I'm just closing the screen so that I'm able to create the video itself. So give me a second. So the attendance link. Okay, so I've created the attendance link. Right now I will be showing you guys the link as well. I will be showing you the link as well as the QR code for the same. Okay, you will have 1 hour from right now. So this particular attendance link will be open up till 9:30. Okay, you will have to fill up the attendance link by 9:30 itself. From tomorrow, it will be like half an hour after the class itself. I'll be able to give you that much amount of time. You'll have to attend the sessions live to get the attendance link. Okay, you will not be able to get the attendance link after the session. Again, like I have reminded you guys, please do like the video. It really helps us a lot. Okay, so let me just show you the attendance link. Those who want to see the attendance link, you can see the attendance link from right over here. The YouTube video, you can take a screenshot, you can scroll back and look at it as well. Right now, I'll be showing you the QR code for it as well. I'll be generating the QR code right now. Load the QR code, day 1 June. This is the QR code, guys. As you're able to see, tomorrow's class will be starting from 7 o'clock itself. Okay, the classes will be from 1 to 1.5 hours, so please be ready for the same. Okay, again, nobody is going to share the link. Anybody caught sharing the link will not be given the certificates. Okay, this is the QR code. You can scan it. This is a YouTube video. You can pause the video, you can rewind it back to look at the attendance link or the QR code. Okay, you can scan this QR code for getting the link as well. Okay, but the link will not be shared with anyone. Okay, and the classes again, so you just have to scan this particular QR code to get the attendance link. Okay, you can just open up your maybe a Google Lens. You can open up your if you have iOS, you can directly use it from the camera itself. If you're still not able to do it, you can just download any of the QR code scanners as an app. Okay, the link won't be shared with anyone else. Okay, it won't be sent to anywhere. Every single day, how we are going to give the link will be totally different. Okay, this is a QR code. You can just scan this QR code. If you don't know how to scan a QR code, guys, you need to work a lot. Okay, just search for it on Google. Okay, you can scan. You don't have to look at the link, guys. You can just scan this QR code to get the link. Again, this is a YouTube video. If you want to look at the link, if you want to look at the scanning code, you can just rewind the video back. This is a YouTube video, guys. I know you are not using YouTube for the very first time. This video will be made available on YouTube for lifetime. Okay, so don't worry about it. Okay, so you can directly just fill up your details every single day. Use the same email. Use the same email. Okay, we are going to check your attendance according to that email itself. So please use the same email. Okay, if you don't have a LinkedIn account, please create a LinkedIn account. It's really very important from a career perspective. If you don't have an Instagram account, that's fine. I also didn't add an Instagram account back three months back. But LinkedIn account is very, very, very important. The attendance link won't be provided anywhere. Okay, it won't be given to you anywhere. Those who want to register for the upcoming bootcamp, that is the data science bootcamp as well, they can go to our website devtown.in into events. They are able to see this is the next bootcamp that we are having, real estate pricing prediction, that is going to start from 20th June. Okay, so you can register for the same from our website. I will share the link for the same on the live chat. Okay, so that if you want to join the next bootcamp, you can definitely register for the same right over there. Those who have filled up their attendance can definitely leave. There's no issues like that. Okay, the attendance link has already been shared. Those who are late, sorry, there's nothing that can be done for you. This is a YouTube video. You can scroll back and watch it again. Okay, you can just scroll back and watch it again. Okay, this is a YouTube video, guys. Okay, so I hope that you guys have already used YouTube. This is not the first time that you are using YouTube. So please just scroll back, watch the link, watch the QR code, and you will be able to use it. Okay. Again, this is a YouTube video. You have the QR code right over here. You can scroll back and watch the QR code. You can pause the video as well. Okay. Okay, so thank you so much, guys. We will meet tomorrow again at 7. The classes will be a 1 to 1.5 hours long. Okay, you have to be on time. You every single day, the way of attendance will be totally different. Okay, so please try to be on time, guys. Okay. Great. Tomorrow as well, we'll be starting at 7 o'clock. Every single day, we'll be starting at 7 o'clock, and our classes will be of 1 to 1.5 hours long. Okay, every single day. Okay. Poonam, if you're not able to see the link, you can refer to the QR code. Okay, and this is a YouTube video. You can increase the quality of the video to 1080p. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, so thank you so much, guys. It was a pleasure meeting you guys up. Okay, we will again meet you guys tomorrow in the evening at 7, or in the future in another boot camp. Or if you want to join the data science boot camp, you can surely do that as well. Any like, if you want to like the video, it's really very amazing that you guys have put it up to 5.7k likes. Okay, but any suggestions, anything, if you want to reach out to me as well, the links are in the description of the video. Do join us, and it will be great to meet you guys as well. Okay, so thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Bye.